I was just recording the video, but my phone stopped recording when I was in mid sitting. I just got done watching this movie ATL, yo. Right now as I speak, it's 8:46 p.m. January 26, 2026. Listen, I've been thinking about that movie. Sometimes I feel like God be talking to me with movies, yo. When I first got to the tiny home shelter, the people in the Wesley Center trucks, right, that work with like the Wesley healthcare people, they come there like once every week or something like that. And they give people like free gift cards to Ralph's and stuff like that. They'll tell people to take a COVID test or take a HIV test, and then they'll give you a $10 gift card, you know what I'm saying, after you take the test, to Ralph's, the grocery store, Ralph's or something like that, right? On this particular day, they also be coming there and be talking to people, like counseling people. This one lady came there and she was telling me that they dared to basically talk to certain people that was at that tiny home shelter, but she said they also help people out with housing and stuff like that. So I was talking to her and she told me that a lot of people around that tiny home shelter have mental problems and stuff like that. And I got her number. While I was getting her number, it was another nigga that was recording me. I saw this dude clear as day recording me, this light-skinned dude, yo. And they ended up putting him out like a couple weeks later because they said that he took the TV that was down in the front where everybody be watching TV at, where the lunch tables is at the tiny home shelter outside, and they said that he put it in his room, and they ended up putting that nigga out. You know what I'm saying? It was this light-skinned dude with like long hair. But I couldn't understand, why is this nigga recording me? He didn't know that I saw him recording me. I didn't tell him that I peeped him recording me, but I saw him recording me. This lady who number that I got, her name was Erin Nisha, yo. And what brought back a memory of that name was when I just got done watching ATL. The only text message I recall sending that lady was talking about housing, and I was like, hey, let me know if you know any leads or anything to like housing and stuff like that, like getting my own apartment type shit. And that was it. I seen her come to the tiny home shelter probably like a month after that, and I just said, hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? And she was talking to some other dude there that worked at the tiny home shelter, and I was just like, hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Y'all still be setting people up with housing and stuff like that? And I just talked to her for a minute, and that was it. That was literally it. But I think something, I already know something ain't right, man. I'm not even about to lie to myself, but I personally think something negative been stated. I don't know if it got anything to do with that lady, but like I said, I had this all white Vortex phone. That was a government phone. That was the text message that I sent her, you feel me, from that phone. That was the phone I used when I sent her a text message like, hey, let me know if they helping out with housing or anything like that. But like I said, what made me just think about all of that was the fact that I just got done watching this movie ATL, yo. And another thing, it was a nigga just recording me. I seen that dude a couple months later around that subway terminal by MacArthur Park area. You know what I'm saying? It's like the little underground subway terminal that's around that area, you feel me? And when I was walking through there, I saw that dude over there, and it was hanging out with another nigga around there that he kind of sort of looked like P. Diddy, yo. He also had lived at a tiny home shelter. So I said, is it a coincidence that I see the light-skinned dude that was recording me, and he hanging out with another dude that also lived at a tiny home shelter? And every time that nigga used to come up to me and say, what up, though, to me, the dude that I said looked kind of like P. Diddy, he'd be like, hey, what up, gang? You know what I'm saying? And I told him, I was like, hey, bro, you know I'm not in the gang, right? He was like, yeah, that's just how he talk. That's how a lot of people talk. But I just wanted to be clear because I was in LA, and a lot of niggas there was in gangs, you feel me? And I just said, LA is small. A lot of people know each other. So when I saw a dog down there around that area, I did get kind of suspicious. But at the same time, I just shrugged my shoulders like, I don't know neither one of these niggas, to be honest. Look, yo, I had a dream. I even recorded a video on my YouTube when I had a dream. I heard some lady screaming and crying and stuff like that, yo. And it was like some dude pouring something hot on her foot. Like she was in a cage or something like that. And I immediately recorded a video. Like, I just had a dream. This one dude named Michael, like, I heard some lady screaming and stuff or crying or something like that. Then I saw this dude that lived at a testimonial shelter named Mike. He was walking up out of the room and he was like sweating, like he had like a mad look on his face, and his hands was real red, real red. Like it was like smoke coming from his hands. And I feel like that was God possibly saying like he got caught red-handed or something like that. You ever seen somebody like try to get down on you or like try to steal from you, but all you see is like a flash of it? Like, let's say somebody like try to grab something, like let's say you turn your back and you go somewhere, and then like in your peripheral vision, you just saw somebody like hand do something like that. When I was at the tiny home shelter number 31, you know what I'm saying? This is between February and June of 2025. Like I said, my roommate was this old man named Mike, an older guy named Michael. You feel me? And I turned my back and I just saw something like real quick happen. I think that dude was possibly like planting stuff around that shelter, yo, and basically something that was potent that had fumes in it or some type of substance that could possibly make me be into a belligerent state of mind. And I think that man was recording me, or possibly recording me with somebody else's phone and trying to make it look like that it was somebody else in that tiny home unit around me or recording me shit. That's why I said it was times I woke up out of my sleep and I feel weird. Like I said, one time I was sleeping, it felt like somebody had their hand on my forehead. And when I woke up, all I heard was doors closing, but it was outside of the tiny home shelter. It wasn't the tiny home shelter unit number 31 that I was in where I heard doors closing, but it was the one that was next door to me. So that was unit number 32. And I also heard a couple other units like closing like on the side of me and shit, like outside of the tiny home shelter that I was in. And it would always be as soon as I wake up. So I think that it was something happening weird around that way. I just wanted to speak on that because that dude, Michael, that was at the testimonial shelter was around my age. That nigga was around my age. You feel me? And like I said, that dude had a little brother that used to be recording people, yo. This gay dude that used to be recording people. And when I spoke on that, they put me out of that testimonial shelter. I was in that testimonial shelter between September 11, 2024 and July 18, 2024. And I remember when I first got there, I was talking about like where I was from in Detroit, like the west side of Detroit, and I had a childhood friend of mine that was like one of my main homeboys way back in the day type shit. And he had an older brother that was in California for a minute. I said that nigga older brother used to be rapping type shit. And I said I think he was rapping with he made a song with DJ Quick or something like that. I was talking about this nigga named Kurt in our old neighborhood. And he was like, and then Mike, the dude Mike looked at me like, you know that's my he was like, you know that's my sister goddaddy or something like that. I just looked at him like, okay, I'm not lying about that, bro. He said it like, you know, I know of that person. I just looked at him like, bro, I'm not lying. I'm not lying about my hood. I'm not lying about nothing that I'm talking about right now. You feel me? That day that I recorded that video, that sign-in binder, when you sign in your name at the tiny home shelter on the sign-in binder, you got to sign it in every single day. It's a picture of you, and then it's your name right afterwards. So on that day, earlier that day, probably like an hour before I recorded that video, my face on that sign-in binder, somebody named Jacquees Collins called my phone. I answered the phone. I was like, hello? And they was like, hello? And then they hung up. You know what I'm saying? No, as a matter of fact, they called 2 times, and then they called and hung up twice. And then the third time they called, I answered the phone, and I was like, hello? Hello, who is this? And then I didn't get no call. Then they hung up. And then I sent a text message, who is Jacquees Collins? Who is this? And they just said, my bad, wrong digits. They sent me a text message back saying, my bad, wrong digits. So later on that day, I recorded a video like, yo, I'm just recording this video right now. I was kind of camouflaging the situation, but I said, man, I'm about to record this shit, but I feel like something was weird was going on. Right after that, the dude Brian walked up out of the shelter, and he was joking with the dude that looked kind of like P. Diddy, and he was like, everybody like, where's she at? Where's she at? Probably getting punched on, ha, ha, ha. And I sent my cousin, Deshaun King, a message right after that. He know everybody in the Jehovah's Witness congregation. And I was like, cuzzo, I feel like something not right. I feel like my sister been cloned, my mom's been cloned, and they probably been reeled out to Cali, and they been held captive or something like that. He never got back to him. I sent the same message to my cousin Shamari and my cousin Ron. Ron know everybody in Orangeburg and in Bowman and all that. You know what I'm saying? My cousin Ron G, like, you know, everybody. And I was like, yo, I feel like something not right, yo. Flat out, like, I feel like something not, y'all need to let me know, because it's a lot of secret societies in this world. This shit exists. And people can actually get cloned and then be playing me for a fool type shit. So I reached out to my cousin Ron, and he ain't get back to me. I'm like, bro, something not right. I'm not lying about being a part of the 144,000 Israelites. I've had dreams and visions of my sister like calling out to help, asking me for help. That all-white Vortex phone that I had got, I got that all-white Vortex phone from this light-skinned dude, yo. I had just walked up out of the Department of Human Services, whatever the name of the building is that you go get an EBT card at. It was a building. Whatever the closest building that you go to, like, get an EBT card at, it was like right around the corner from Skid Row. I had walked over there. You feel? I footed it out over there. You feel me? And this dude walked up to me as soon as I walked up out of that building to ask me if I wanted a free phone. I'm like, bet. You know what I'm saying? He gave me an all-white Vortex phone. He even told me his old neighborhood was from around over there on Slauson and Western. And that was it. That was the phone that I used when I texted that one girl, Aranisha, yo. And I never disrespected that lady. So if that lady ever got some type of a fucked up message from me or some type of scandalous message from me, it was somebody hacking into that phone and bad talking her and using my image to do that. And another thing, that lady Aranisha worked with the Wesley Health Center people. The Wesley Health Center was also around like Skid Row area. my doctor was this dude, this Jamaican dude named Rodney. Then all of a sudden they just completely changed my whole shit up, and then they told me that I had to go through the process all over again and getting the doctor and everything. That was weird to me. You know what I'm saying? They switched up by like September 2024. But I had signed into the portal on a Wesley Center thing, and I was looking at all my medical history on there, and my phone glitched, and it went from like a couple of notifications to like 100 notifications. So it glitched, and I saw 100, and then it just went back to norm. And I took a screenshot of that. I still got that on that phone, that Vortex phone. But what's so crazy is that Vortex phone been water damaged recently, and it wasn't me that did it. And I know it's water damage. There's something damaged because when I try to plug up a cord to it to turn it on, it won't turn on. The same thing happened with my Galaxy 15. When I was at my Auntie Yang Yi house at the Regal Tower Apartments, my Auntie Mary house at the Regal Tower Apartments in Southfield, Michigan, between June and August. Matter of fact, I know exactly when this happened. This happened in August 2025, yo. Because this is right around the time I went to that condom reunion in Southwest Detroit. And I remember when I got out the car at the condom reunion, I had my notebook with me and shit. I was writing down my mathematical algorithms when I was there. I was writing down shit on a piece of paper type shit. I was walking around with my book bag on. People was looking at me like I possibly had the burner on me or something. I'm like, no, bro, I'm just writing down these math equations and shit. I be doing this all day, every day. But when I came back from that reunion or whatever, that condom reunion, not too long after that, that Galaxy 15 had water damage, yo. That means that somebody put... And I know it was water damage because it had ink blots in it. That means it's been water damage. That means somebody dropped it in some water. The same thing happened with that Vortex phone. It's a government phone that I got from this this dude that was driving a white Tesla, yo. This light-skinned dude. It was a lot of people driving white Teslas around that area, yo. This light-skinned dude, dog. He told me his old neighborhood was from around over there, around like Slauson and Western and stuff like that. He dropped me off at the underground train terminal thing, downtown Los Angeles, after I got that cell phone from him. It was an all-white Vortex phone. I got that phone from him in like August 2024, yo. Either August 2024 or late July 2024 or something like that. And I got that phone from him right outside from the Wesley Health Center. Right around the corner from the LA Mission, yo. I ran into that dude walking up out of the building because I was trying to get like my EBT card shit straight and all that other stuff. And he asked me if I needed a free phone. It was this light-skinned dude, yo. But like I said, I watched that movie ATL, yo. And when I was thinking about that name, Aaron, and I was like, why am I thinking about that name, Aaron? It was a lady that worked with the Wesley Health Trucks people, and her name was Aaron Nisha. But I got that lady number just because I was talking to her about housing. But if it's a like floating statement going around of me bad talking that lady in any kind of way, or shit talking that lady in any kind of way, that means somebody hacked in my phone and basically tried to make a mockery of me and lie on me. And like I said, when I was talking to that lady, the first time I seen that lady, I only seen her twice. She came there with the Wesley Trucks people once, and then she came there on another time. The second time I saw her, I just said, what's up, and talked to her for like 20 seconds or something like that, and that was it. But the first time I talked to her for a minute, I was actually sitting at the table talking to her, and I saw some nigga record me. I actually saw some nigga literally like recording me type shit. And then I saw that dude like a couple months later or some shit like that when I was around MacArthur Park subway terminal, and I still remember he had on the LA Lakers jacket, yo. I still remember that. And he told me after I never told that nigga I saw him record me, but he told me like a couple that man told me like a few days later, or maybe like a couple weeks later or something like that, that they put him out of the tiny home shelter because he grabbed the TV and put it in his room. And they said that was like stealing. He said he wasn't stealing, he was just watching that shit or something like that. And I saw that dude pull off in the Benz, and I was like, damn, that nigga driving the Benzo. I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that nigga was kind of scandalous or whatever, but shit, you still could be scandalous driving the Benzo. But I don't know, I didn't know who that dude was or nothing like that. I'm just speaking on that because I saw that dude recording me, clearly recording me, yo. My trust is all fucked up. All fucked up. All fucked up. When I first came to Cali, if it was something secretive going around, I would have been way more appreciative if somebody would have been like, hey man, welcome me right quick. Let me tell you about what's really going on. You feel me? But nobody did that. Nobody did that. Everybody just like looked at me like a fool, yo. But again, if that one lady, I never said anything disrespectful to that lady. The whole time I talked to that lady, I was just like, hey, what's up? Let me know if you heard anything about housing. And that was it. That was the only text message I sent her. Another thing. Like I said, all of this came to mind when I was watching that movie ATL. I used to have a homeboy named Rashad that I went to high school with back in the day. Another one of his homeboys was this one nigga that I got high with. And I got high with this nigga on graduation rehearsal day. When I was graduating from the 12th grade, It was an apartment complex next door to Southfield Latham High. And the plan was to basically get high and then go into graduation rehearsal and then fuck with the hoes and shit like that. Fuck with the talk to the ladies and stuff like that, whatever. But I ended up not having a blunt, so we had to walk to the gas station and get a blunt. And then I messed the blunt up, so we was out there smoking, and then this old man came up to us and started talking to us, and he started basically lecturing us about how we need to stop smoking. So we missed out on all of our rehearsal time and stuff like that. We stood out there and talked to that man for like 30 minutes. By the time we walked into Southfield Latham High, the graduation rehearsals was over with. That was the reason why I didn't go to graduation rehearsals, yo. And I remember that dude, Rashad, like I said, I used to go to high school with this nigga. I think he had a brother that rapped or some shit like that, yo. You know what I'm saying? It's ironic that I was talking earlier about how I was like one of my childhood friends' brother used to rap. I think it was this TV show that named Turbulence that used to come on in Detroit way back in like 2002 time type shit, 2003. And I think he had an older brother that used to rap on that rap show Turbulence or something like that. This dude named Rashad that I went to high school with, and I went to Southfield Regional Academic Campus with. I graduated from Southfield Latham High School, but I went to an alternative school called Southfield Regional Academic Campus. They didn't refer to that school as an actual real high school. That school was basically to help you graduate from one of the two high schools that was in Southfield. It was Southfield Latham High and Southfield High School back in the day. So, and like I said, this dude Rashad, I remember the nigga that I was smoking with was like his main man, was like his main homeboy back in high school days. And I remember he had a sister that Rashad homeboy used to always try to talk to type shit. He used to always try to get at her, but he never got at her. You know what I'm saying? And I remember like looking at her like, damn, yeah, she nice. Yo. I think I saw her at prom when I went to prom back in the day. That's beyond the point I'm making. Look, yo, I truly believe that my family got cloned, got reeled out of California, and got lied on, and a lot of people was taking pictures of me, taking videos of me, taking recordings of me, trying to frame me. I don't know what all they was trying to frame me on, but based off of what I saw, based off what I saw, especially when I saw how my phone kept getting hacked, especially when I got on Snapchat and everything disappeared on Snapchat and all I saw was my avatar on Snapchat in July and August of 2024, based on what I saw, I feel like people were trying to make it look like that I was talking to ladies that I wasn't talking to, or even worse, talking to some lady that was under the age of 18. And the only way that was maintained is if a whole bunch of people was in the same clique and they was in on it. And what fucked my head up more than anything is it got me thinking as of lately that maybe my whole family been cloned even in South Carolina, because when I reached out to them and I told them what was going on, they ain't even respond back, or they just said, hey, I don't know, man, look, them dudes who basically sucker punched me at that Kingdom Hall, I reached out to my cousin, and I'm not trying to make my cousin Deshaun look bad, but I just said, I feel like somebody put some drugs in my NyQuil, yo. Anytime I was drinking that NyQuil, it was when I went to sleep and I had a cold. Right after I got baptized on the 28th of July, 2024, I caught a cold. And my sister Alicia cashed out me some money. And I think somebody put something in that NyQuil. So this is why I truly believe some scandalous happened between July 28, 2024 and September 2nd, 2024. You feel me? Because my cold went away for a minute. Then by late August, early September, my cold came back. And I went and got some more NyQuil. People was running around lying, saying that I'm drinking cough medicine for fun and shit like that. It's trying to make it look like I'm drinking syrup for fun. It's crazy, the kind of shit that people try to throw on my name. So look, this AJ, yo, it's man, it's 9:05 p.m., yo. And it's January 26, 2026. I'm not gonna lie to myself if I look at my family members and I feel like clones exist. I said in the last video, man, God bless to everybody. I love everybody. Thank you to everybody, especially people who helping me out, and I didn't even know who was helping me out. When I first got to Cali, I thought it was a whole lot of secretive shit going on, and there was people low-key helping me out, and I just didn't see that. I thought it was a lot of people looking at me saying, okay, he part of the 144,000 Israelites, a part of the 144,000 prophets, God be giving them certain visions. And I thought it was people moving in a certain type of way, and they were just moving in a certain type of way without telling me. And I'm like, all right, cool. But when I realized that people that I was related to started looking different, started looking like they've been cloned, when I started having dreams of family members of mine asking me for help and stuff like that, I'm like, no, yo, I'm being framed. Don't nobody like me. There's some foul shit going on. And then when I started speaking up on what's all going on, that people started saying, oh, he a snitch. He's singing. He's snitching on everybody. No, yo, listen, if my family members have been cloned, don't you know the police is already in on that, Joe? Do you know how dangerous that is for me? I don't mean like I'm about to do something bad to somebody else. I'm saying that if somebody has been cloned, dog, that means I can't, like, dog, what can I do? I can't do shit. I can't do nothing. If somebody has did something to me, sexually assaulting in my sleep, I can't do shit if the police ain't gonna do shit about it. I mean, I could do something, but if I do something, if I do what I want to do, you know what I'm saying, it might not end up too well for me. That's why I said, I just put all my pride to the side, and I was like, look here, to be honest, I said this a couple days ago. I said, when I was in Cali, by the time 2025 hit, I started basically praying to God, like I was saying my goodbyes, like, I don't know, God, if I find out like somebody is doing something scandalous to me, or if I got assaulted in my sleep, or somebody cloned my family and they're attacking my family here in Cali, I'm not letting that go. I already know that somebody gonna take my life for that, because I'm not gonna let that go. And they not gonna let that go once I do to whoever, do something to whoever basically is attacking my family or attacking me. Like, so it's just a lose-lose situation. I just started praying like that because I feel like some scandalous is going on. I had that dream about I'm sitting at a table playing poker, yo, or it wasn't even a poker table. I didn't see poker chips, but for some reason the scenery just felt like poker. And it was this dude I'm sitting like at the end of the table. You know what I'm saying? It was this dude that was kind of sort of like on the right side of me. And he was dealing cards to the left, right? And then he gave me some cards, and the cards was kind of sort of like stuck together. And then I got up and I tripped over this seat, and it was a black person, like a tan color glittery purse. And the black purse immediately was right there. Then I was looking for the tan color purse. I'm like, yo, I don't see it. I don't see it. Where is it? I don't know where it's at. I don't see it. And another dude was like, man, that's your fault. Even though you didn't steal it, it's still your fault, because you went over there and you tripped over that chair. You ain't never trip over that chair. The purse wouldn't be missing. And another dude was saying, man, just leave it alone, man. We saw you trip, man. We know that you ain't steal no purse. And another nigga was saying, no, y'all saying that it ain't his fault, but he tripped over the chair. If he never tripped over the chair, the purse would have never came up missing. And then the dude that was on the right side of me, and it was the celebrity dude, the QCP, the quality control dude. You know what I'm saying? The dude everybody called Pete. He walked up, he got up from his chair, walked over to the purse, and then grabbed the purse, was like, it's right here. And then I was like, yeah, man, I'm out of here. I'm left after that. He diffused the situation. And then I was in the back of this like Lambo truck. I remember seeing a symbol on the seats, and I just saw it was a Lambo truck. It was all yellow on the outside. It was the exterior was yellow. And it was like around the gas part area, it was like wet. The car wasn't wet, but that one part was wet, like it just got painted. And I told this one lady, I was like, I'm so glad to be in this car with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm so glad, because I was just around a few niggas, and it was some nigga trying to frame me and sabotage me and lie on me. Then I pulled up at it was like this big estate. And it was like, I just saw a whole bunch of grass around there. And there was ladies walking around with their titties out, or walking around with bikinis and stuff like that. And when I got out of the car, I told the one lady, hey, you got something wet on your little gas cap part, on your gas, like on your, where the gas go in at, you know what I'm saying? There's something wet right there. And I was like, you need to just set this outside for a minute to let it dry off. And then I started helping this one lady walk up these stairs, and the lady was on the left side of me, and there was another lady helping her walk up the stairs, and the lady that was in the middle was on the right side of the lady that was helping her walk up the stairs. And I heard some lady crying, and I was like, who's that crying? Who's that crying? I was like, no, don't worry about it. And I'm like, no, who is that? I hear somebody crying. I hear some lady crying. So I feel like that was God telling me, don't let the people try to distract you with lust, and don't let people try to distract you for what's important now, basically trying to like bring like some ladies around you and stuff like that. No, acknowledge what's really going on. If they clone my family and stuff like that, or trying to play me for a fool, no, I'm not just about to sit back and let that happen, no matter what the situation is, yo. So I ain't gonna lie, yo. I had a dream that I was in the driver's seat of the car, just like this, right? And I was talking to this dog. It was like a dog, like on the side of me like this. I'm talking to a dog. I couldn't understand, why in this dream am I talking to a dog, yo? I don't talk to human beings like they animals. My mom was sitting in the passenger seat, like right here. She got up, and then she walked away, and she opened up the door, closed the door, then walked away. And she looked real skinny. She had blue in her hair, and I saw a whole bunch of people skating and rollerblading down this green hill. It was green grass, but it was a hill. It was a bunch of people skating and rollerblading down that. And I couldn't understand what that dream meant, but I just got done watching ATL. I don't know if that got something to do with it. I talked about how the summertime of 2018, I pulled up on this one lady that was skating in the middle of the parking lot on Grand River and Evergreen. That lady told me she was from California, but I never even got her number. I just talked to her for a minute. I didn't know if that was God was telling me, but more than anything, what I got out of that dream, I think that God told me that they had my mom out in Cali, and they were starving her and attacking her and stuff like that, and then they cloned her. Got here October 1st, 2025, yo, got off the flight. And I said my mom looked different, and she having dreams and visions of screaming in her sleep and crying in her sleep and stuff like that. So obviously, if this kind of stuff exists, it's obviously a secretive world to this world. And anybody else who will watch this video will be like, this nigga's retarded. This man has lost his shit completely. Man, look, I'm not walking around trying to be on some informant type shit, trying to say, oh, that person moving fucked up. That person moving fucked up. Let me make a report about this. Or make a report about that. No, yo. But I realize, I peep game. I realize it's people trying to frame me and lie on me. Because if it wasn't people trying to frame me, if it wasn't people trying to lie on me, I'm going to just be honest. I didn't get the kind of demeanor off of people that said, hey, nigga, it's all love. It's all hood. It's all good, whatever, whatever. The whole time I was in Cali, I feel like people was looking at me like, you all right, but it was at the same time like, nigga, fuck you. I kind of sort of feel like it was people saying that when I was in Michigan. I kind of sort of feel like I was getting that vibe, especially when I was in St. George, South Carolina. And back in the day when I was in Florida. I'm not saying fuck the state of California. I'm not saying fuck the state of Florida. I'm definitely not saying fuck the state of Michigan. I'm not saying fuck the state of South Carolina, nothing like that, or California. You know what I'm saying? But the demeanor that I was getting off of people, and the way I was peeping shit out, I was like, no, my phone getting hacked, and it's a lot of lies being told on me, yo. And I'm going to say this one more time. I got on Snapchat. Anybody ever been on Snapchat and got on the map on Snapchat, they can look at videos that be all around Snapchat type shit, you feel me? They can click on a video. As soon as you go into the map, I'm talking about the actual map, when you actually clock your location and zoom in on your location on Snapchat, it's a whole bunch of videos that be at these different stores that's on your map. You could just click on that story and see who basically took a video recording there on Snapchat around that day or that time, or a week before or 2 weeks before, or some shit like that. I got on the map and the map glitched. And then next thing you know, all the videos disappeared. There was no kind of bubble that I could click on to basically watch a video. All of that shit just disappeared. And it was just my avatar standing by itself on Snapchat. This when I was at the tiny home shelter. Yo, this is in like late July 2024 or early August 2024. So somebody was going into Snapchat bad talking people. So that one lady that worked with the Wesley people, when I was talking to that lady sitting at the table talking to her, I was just talking to her about getting an apartment, finding housing and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Reaching out, reaching out to people about a certain job and shit like that. That was it. But I saw some nigga across the fucking break area out there, the break tables and stuff, or the lunch tables out there, whatever you want to call it, the smoking area that's outside at the tiny home shelters. I saw this nigga recording me, yo. Clearly. So when I saw that same dude around like the MacArthur Park area, at the subway terminals and shit like that, and I saw him hanging out with this one dude also that still lived at the tiny home shelter. That dude looked kind of like P. Diddy. When I saw him, I was just like, I don't know, yo. I think it's some, either these niggas is watching my back and making sure don't nobody do no fuck shit. Either these niggas is making sure don't nobody try no foul shit with me, or it's just some weird shit going on. And like I said, what basically just made it obvious to me that there's some foul shit going on is when I start having them dreams and visions of my family members in California, yo. In the setting, like the actual location that I was in when I was having these dreams, like when I had a dream about something, it was actually in the state of California. It was something in that dream that let me know, okay, I'm in Cali. And my family members asking me for help type shit. So when I saw that, I was like, no, something not right. And then when I actually asked my sister Keisha to send me a picture, October 2024, and I looked at a picture of my sister, my twin sister, and her face was way bigger than my mom's face in this picture. I said, no, yo, no, this shit Photoshop, something not right. And I reached out to my whole family and I ain't getting nowhere with them. So I think my phone was being redirected for a long time. Think about how fucked up it is, though, how scandalous and evil it is for you to reach out to family members of yours, calling out to family members of yours, and somebody is redirecting your phone calls and answering your phone calls and acting like your family, convincing you. That's like me getting shot or going to jail, and then I'm reaching out and calling out to family members of mine, and then they redirected my phone call to a fake recording that got me thinking that I'm talking to my family, or they redirected my call to a fake 911 call if I'm in dire need of some type of medical help. And I'm gonna say this again. I had a dream. I was walking up these steps, yo. It kind of sort of like I was in my cousin Shamar crib, yo. My aunt's in the crib on a wire roll, yo. Not my cousin Shamar crib at the mobile, but the actual house. And the paint was wet. It was like burgundy paint. You know what I'm saying? It was wet. And it was like this little yellow bird in the paint, and the paint was still drying up, but it was like this little yellow bird that was like stuck in the paint. And I made a mistake and like stepped on the bird by mistake. And then I walked into this room and I saw like a pool table area. And I looked out the window and I saw some dude outside, like by a gas truck. And then I walked outside and he was singing some old country song. I ain't even, that was never even one of my favorite songs back in the day. That was just a real common song. And it was that want to get lost in the rock and roll and the drift away type shit. Like, and then this dude that was singing, he had on a hat. The hat that he had on was kind of sort of similar to, like when I got baptized on July 28, 2024, it was this white guy that had on one of them type of hats. He had on a hat that was similar to that. Or kind of sort of like, it kind of sort of looked like the dude that was my roommate, that old man Mike. That was my roommate at tiny home unit number 31 that I moved into in February 2025. I was in 3 different tiny home units. When I first got to the tiny home shelter, I was in tiny home unit number 35. You know what I'm saying? And then they moved me out of there after I got into it with that dude named Brian Cooper. Then they moved me into tiny home unit number 15. And then they moved me out of there. They didn't even tell me when they moved me out of there. They just grabbed my shit and threw it in tiny home unit number 31. And then my roommate there was this dude named Mike, this old man named Mike, yo. I seen that dude walking around, but he had on the hat. But this person in his dream, he had on sunglasses. You know what I'm saying? But that hat was similar. It was like it was the kind of hat that got like that got the string under it. That got the string that go under your chin. It was that kind of hat. You know what I'm saying? And he was singing a song, and the dude looked like he was like see-through. Like he had on some glasses and a hat, but he looked like he was kind of sort of like see-through. Like he didn't have no actual like skin. And then he was singing a song, and he started pumping gas from that truck, and then the truck blew up. And I had another dream that this one dude that also lived at a tiny home shelter. I didn't know this dude at all. I just knew that dude's name was Ernest. And it was like a bridge area that had blew up. It was a whole bunch of cars. It was like a whole bunch of cars crashing in the bridge area around there. And then I was like, then all of a sudden I ended up like under the bridge, and I was like around an area where it was like it wasn't a sidewalk, but it was just like a platform that was like under the bridge that you could walk on. And I saw that dude on a boat, and he was like grabbing fish out of that boat, but it was like money inside of the fish. And then he looked over at me, and I kind of sort of looked at him like, I don't know you, bro. Like, you shouldn't even, like, I don't even know why you acting like you got my trust like that. I don't know you. I don't want no parts of this shit right here. That's how the dream was. It was kind of sort of like, he was looking at me like, hey man, like, you know, you can get some of that. I was looking like, nah, bro, I don't want none of that shit. I don't want no parts of this shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you up to. I don't know you. But it was one particular day I was recording a video at a tiny home shelter, and I made a statement, and I said, you got some dudes who live the worst type of life. They do the most horrible things to people. They be running around raping women, taking niggas' lives, and they'll brag about that stuff. And just because they be in a gang, they be protected. Don't nobody bother them. But here I am. I'm public enemy number 1. People lying on me. I've been ignored and neglected a long time ago by a lot of people and stuff. I came forth and I said I was sorry to everybody for everything that I stated back in August 2024, because I just wanted to diffuse whatever had got started, because I don't know what all been stated, what all been said, and everybody still acting like I'm a problem type shit. And while I was in mid-sentence saying how everybody overlooked, I was basically speaking on how everybody overlooked niggas who do the worst foul shit, but then people look at me like I'm a problem. This one dude started yelling out, 4 deuce, 4 deuce, 4 deuce. And that was that dude Ernest, and he had a tiny home shelter that was right across from me. This is when I was in tiny home unit number 35, and I couldn't understand why that nigga was yelling that out. This was right around the time when I was recording a video on my Galaxy 15, and I was just stating this. But I thought that dude was hacking in my phone. I ain't even gonna lie. He looked kind of like that dude off that movie Snowfall, yo. I mean, that TV show Snowfall. It was some weird shit going on at them shelters, yo. It was some weird shit. Weird shit. Listen. I reflected back on shit that I said about family members and everybody, and I just said, man, I apologize, God bless to everybody. I wouldn't let somebody bring harm to my family. You know, if I was there, I wouldn't allow somebody to try to bring harm to my family, even if I wasn't there. So I was like, my apologies to everybody. I thought I really diffused the situation altogether, but like I said, as slowly but surely, you know what I'm saying, I feel like things just started getting more weird around me. I just didn't see the demeanor that said, hey, nigga, we fuck with you. I saw the demeanor that said, no, nigga, fuck you. It wasn't direct, and it wasn't from everybody, but I just saw that from some people. So I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to trust. I don't trust nothing, yo. My trust is all fucked up. And if I got family members that been cloned, ain't no way I can actually, man, ain't no way of talking to somebody that's the police about that. They're not gonna listen to that. They in on it. when it comes to the goals that I got and the stuff that I was working on, I never opened up to my cousin Shamar about what I was actually doing. Like literally, like said, hey man, I'm working on these numbers and stuff. I just said we gonna be good one day. I said the same exact thing to niggas that I was cool with, that I went to high school with. Hey nigga, we gonna be good one day. But I never opened up all the way completely about it. I just said we gonna be good one day. That was it. So when I realized that, man, I had it was my auntie and St. I love my auntie dearly, but when I realized my auntie was going through my stuff when I wasn't around in St. George, that made me real paranoid, yo. Like, why? I let it be known to my cousin, we gonna be good one day. I said that. I let that be known. And money not everything. So if it was something secretive going on around Cali, people was better. I swear, if somebody had came to me and told me, hey man, welcome you right quick, this was really going on, they would have had my trust for good. If somebody had told me that, they would have had my trust for real. But even when I make it financially for real, I still ain't gonna trust it. I still gotta carry myself, and I don't trust none type of way, because money is not everything, yo. I could get rich right now, but if it's niggas that feel like they can like play me for a fool, they'll do that even more when you get money. My cousin Deshaun told me, my dad always told me this: if you can't save money when you broke, you ain't gonna be able to save money when you rich. He told me that clearly. So I personally feel like who you are is who you are. People running around like, oh, that nigga a snitch, or that nigga did this, that nigga did that, saying all kind of foul shit, you feel me? But nobody knows what I've been through. Nobody knows the buildup of the shit that I've been through. Nobody knows that it was some ladies out here trying to frame me. Some of these ladies I fucked back in the day, and then they probably found a way to get my nut and give it to somebody else, and then try to make it look like that I raped some lady that I never even talked to, that I never even engaged in sex with. See, when people see some lady doing that kind of stuff to me, they don't pay no mind to that. They don't care about that, right? But then when it get worse for me in the long run, they'll all of a sudden act like they care, and it's not in the caring type of supportive way toward me. They'll just be saying, oh, fuck that nigga, because I heard that nigga raped some lady, or I heard that nigga did something with some lady. No, some lady found a way to get my nut, gave it to somebody else, framed me, lied on me, and then accumulated a whole bunch of people that was an audience that was listening to her, that believed her, and she accumulated popularity, she accumulated sympathy, she accumulated all these likes, and at the same exact time, she made everybody look at me and my family and say, no, fuck them. And I never had intentions on bad things happening to my family and stuff like that. But when I started looking up and realizing, yo, I don't know what to believe, I don't know what to trust, I started telling people directly when I was in Carolina, yo, I don't trust y'all, I don't trust this, I feel like you're trying to set me up. So when I started speaking on stuff, I thought things was gonna get better. Man, it got worse. If my family is somewhere else, please, whoever around them, keep them safe, healthy, and alive. Yo, I know for a fact my family been cloned. I'm not just gonna take that and act like that's not going on, yo. That's all I gotta say, you feel me? And again, I thought that at some point in time, when I reached out, because I was talking to people at the shelters about this stuff, yo. I'm like, yo, I truly believe there's some scandalous stuff going on. They just like, man, no, don't worry about that shit, whatever. But I'm not no fool, so I'm not gonna lie to myself. When I look at, imagine you having a daughter or a son or a nephew or a niece or a brother or a sister or an auntie or an uncle that look different all of a sudden. Are you gonna literally let somebody tell you not to worry about nothing? Are you gonna sit up in somebody's face and say, all right, you know, like, don't even worry about that? Imagine somebody, you know what I'm saying, having some type of secret connection with somebody that's like a part of some type of cloning company or something like that, or they body, you know what I'm saying, and you got a kid or something, or you got like a, or niece or a nephew, or you got a mother or a father, or an auntie or an uncle, and you come home and your auntie got a different mole on her face or a different birthmark on her face, and she don't remember certain things, and something bad could possibly be happening to your actual real original auntie. Are you just gonna overlook that just because somebody told you not to get involved or not to even think about that? Or are you gonna say, no, something ain't right with this? So I expected things to get better. I mean, I released a lot of videos saying, yeah, my family did me scandalous, but I would never wish bad on them or allow somebody to do some harm to them. So in August 2024, I was like, look, my apologies to everybody. God bless to everybody. It should have got better. But I'm not about to sit back and just lie to myself. And I feel like, no, something not right with the way my people's looking. I don't know what's going on all together, but I know enough to know something not right is in my circle. And I don't even have nobody in my circle. It's just me, you know, recording videos. And people blocking my videos away. You know how fucked up that is? I'll release a video and my video get blocked away from reality because people don't want the truth to come out about somebody trying to possibly frame me or sabotage me or set me up or get me put in jail in some type of a scandalous way, yo. I just said that's just like trying to take somebody's life or hurting somebody, then they be in dire need of some type of medical help, and then when you call 911, they redirect your call to a fucking voicemail or something like that. So every time I used to go to that building, though I wasn't going in there, dropping motherfucking dimes on people like, hey, I just came to that building. When I used to go to that federal building, I used to go to that building on Wilshire, and I used to just ask them like, yo, what do I do about my phone getting hacked? My phone getting hacked. They said, if you already reached out and made a report about that, just leave it alone. Like, that's it. So I was letting it be known, my phone is getting hacked. That was it. I was just saying, listen, my phone is getting hacked, and I think it's people talking to other people under my image. You feel me? And like I said, that Vortex phone all of a sudden got water damage. You feel me? So I think somebody was possibly hacking in that phone. I don't know the source of that phone. I don't know where the towers is located at for that phone. They told me that the source was T-Mobile, but I don't know that. That was a government phone that I got from somebody. You know what I'm saying? You can't just let somebody set you up and frame you, yo. And like I said before, I say again, if somebody had came to me and said, AJ, this is what's really going on, somebody had pulled me to the side, look, and they just said, man, look, put your cell phone down, put all that shit down that you got, put all that down. Welcome you right quick. Let me tell you what's really going on. I would have been like, cool, nigga. Cool. Bet. But I didn't get that, so I'm not even gonna lie. At one point in time, I thought everybody was trying to set me up, yo. Everybody that I came around, everybody I've been around, everybody, at one point in time, I thought it was a lot of people that I was even related to that was trying to set me up. I'm not gonna lie. If people want to try to convert that into some type of mental problem, that's not schizophrenia. You know what I'm saying? If somebody do you wrong, you know, in some type of a messed up way, and then you kind of sort of, you look up and you be like, no, something ain't right about that. Something ain't right about that. You know what I'm saying? If some lady do you fucked up in a fucked up way that you fucked back in the day, and she come forth and say, oh, he tried to talk to my underage daughter or my underage niece. That's gonna fuck your head up, because what bothered me so much when I was in St. George, South Carolina, it was the way people acted toward me. That's what fucked my head up more than anything else. It wasn't just some lie that, you know how many times I've been lied on in my life? I don't care about the he say, she say talk. But once they called the police on me in December 1st, 2022, I still overlooked that shit. I said, I don't care. By January 2023, I thought about it. I looked through my Snapchat. December 2022, some girl sent me a picture of her breast, and she looked under the age of 18. And then by like early January, like the 1st of January 2023, I saw like a bunch of notifications kept popping up on my Snapchat. People in different locations in South Carolina saying that they just like my Snapchat just got logged into in Grover area and like Walterboro area, then Shady Grove area, and then Harleyville area and shit like that. I was like, yo, no, they trying to frame me. And they trying to probably make it look like I'm talking to some lady that's under the age of 18, yo. So I can't just let somebody like come along and fuck my life up. Because like I said, at first, I didn't care about he say, she say talk. I didn't care about none of that. But then I realized the way people are acting toward me and the way people are interacting with me, adults are interacting with me, that made me wake up even more and say, okay, something fucked up has been stated about me. So when everybody say, don't worry about it or leave it alone, it's easy for you to say that. This the phone right here that I had when I was talking to that one lady, Erin Nishon. But like I said, I just sent her a message talking to her about housing in an apartment, and I never got anywhere. I plugged the charger up to this phone, and now it don't even come on. So I think somebody threw this phone in some water, yo. Because if the screen crack a little bit, you should at least see a glitch of it. It don't even come on now. So same with this iPhone 13, you feel me? I plugged the iPhone 13 up, it ain't coming on no more. Anytime a phone just don't come on at all, in my mind, somebody put it in some water. And that Galaxy 15 definitely got water damage. Look at the ink blots on this phone. Let me see if I can get in the camera. I'm trying not to like get the reflection on it. It's ink blots in it, yo. You know, this means that somebody put it in some water, you feel me? So listen, God bless to everybody, yo. This the Galaxy 15, you know what I'm saying? This one I had a whole lot of my information on. And that dream that I had, man, if somebody has been attacking my family and my sister any kind of way, I'm going to find out, yo. I'm going to find out. If don't nobody give a fuck about my family, if don't nobody give a fuck about me, if don't nobody give a fuck, I'm still going to find out. That's just how I think. That's just who I am. And if somebody don't like that, so be it. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I am. I'm not letting that, no. I just don't move like that, yo. I don't care about what you a part of. I ain't got nothing against nobody. If you a Mason, if you in a brotherhood, if you in a gang, if you a part of some sisterhood, sorority, if you a part of some clique, whatever it is that you choose to do in life, that's you. That's between you and God. I'm not about to be walking around trying to pick and choose who to like and who to dislike. But I will say this. I know for a fact that a whole lot of foul stuff was going on. I don't know who it is that's trying to steal my story. I don't even care, yo. I know who I am as far as like the walk that I'm on with God. And it's a lot of confusion that's happening in my life. So the last thing I need is somebody else trying to cause more confusion. You feel me? And when I spoke about in the past about certain people that was part of the 144,000 Israelites, I never meant disrespect to anybody. When I spoke about certain kids being a part of the 144,000 Israelites, I spoke about the confusion that I went through in the past. All of that. I spoke on how I went through that. And it's way, 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 way more, uh, way more information in that than I could even explain on the phone in a matter of 1 hour. I could talk for years about what I've been through that caused the confusion in my life. So if I was wrong about somebody kid being a part of 144,000 Israelites, that was the whole point of that apology in August 2024. Yo, I wasn't trying to bad talk somebody kid or something like that. I feel like people shouldn't even have took it in a negative way. Slowly but surely, like I realized by January 2023, like right when I start working at the Walmart distribution center, I don't know what all God was telling me, but I feel like I shouldn't have got drunk and high on one particular day. Because then after that, that was when like the domino effect happened. Because right after I got drunk and high, I didn't go to work the following next couple of days. They fired me from Walmart distribution center in January 2023, and then like man, look, I've been writing down mathematical algorithms since I was a kid. You feel me? But when I was 18, that was when I started taking them more serious. And at one point in time, I still feel like God talked to me with numbers sometime, but confusion did take over at one point in time in my life. So I didn't know how to process things in a certain way. But what got me thinking about when they kicked me out of tiny home unit number 35, I got there September 17, 2024. They moved some dude in there. I forgot his name. I just remember his caseworker. His caseworker was basically working with the outreach people, the people that help people find a place. The dude didn't work at the tiny home shelter. He was just the dude that helped him get into the tiny home shelter. His name was Kendrick. I think he worked with the Metro outreach people. And then that dude moved out like 2 days later. And then they moved this dark-skinned, tall dude in there named Slim. He told me his name was Slim. I don't remember that nigga real name. That dude had a seizure. It was spit all on the tiny home floor in the tiny home unit number 35 one day when I walked in there, when I got out the shower, and that dude was walking in and out of people's tiny home units saying that he was looking for his stuff. I didn't even know when you have a seizure that you be in the wrong state of mind. But some people around that shelter said that nigga was on drugs. Maybe he did some drugs or something and then had a seizure as a result of doing drugs. But they ended up putting him out. Then I saw him the next day and he told me he had a seizure. Then they moved that Brian Cooper dude in that unit. And when they moved that man in there, and then that dude got into it one day, and then they moved me out, and then they moved me to unit number 15. And then when they moved me to unit number 15, they put me in there with this schizophrenic nigga. You know what I'm saying? This was like early November 2024 or late October 2024. They moved some schizophrenic dude in there. That nigga had a drawing book with a whole bunch of different drawings in it and pictures in it. And there was this one character that had like a clown face, but it was like a evil, like a clown face, and it was riding around, and it was like it had like a little a bike, like a big wheel type of a bike or something. And he told me the name of that. He told me the character of his drawing, but I forgot the character of it. It was like one of them animated drawings. You know, it was like over exaggeration. So watching that movie ATL also made me think about that. But I had a dream way back in 2023, I believe. This is probably like November 2023 or something like that, or October 2023. Way back when I was living in St. George, South Carolina, when I was sleeping in the house on the Quaker Road at my Aunt Grace's house. I was running through a hallway, and there was this dude named Jay and this dude named Javon that worked with me at the Pepsi warehouse between May 2016 to June 2018. And I was running through these hallways, and I was busting the right turn. I bust like three right turns. You know what I'm saying? And I remember looking to my left when I burst the first right turn, and there was some stairs. And they was like, no, leave it alone. It's a distraction. So I just kept on running. And now that I reflect back on that dream, I wonder, what was I running for? Because it wasn't shit chasing me. And I was like, what was them niggas running for? And if them niggas was helping me out, why they closed the door in my face? Because I ran, I bust like 3 right turns, and then I jumped down like a flight of stairs that was probably like 5 feet high, 6 feet high. It wasn't that high. Jumped down a few stairs, and then it was like a big room. And then I saw some little character riding around in circles on a big wheel. And it was that same exact character that dude had in that drawing book that was at the tiny home shelter unit number 15 that I saw in, like, he had a notebook, yo, and he had a whole bunch of drawings in it. That dude was schizophrenic. He used to be talking to himself. So in this dream, when I jumped down these stairs and I was in this room and I saw somebody riding around in circles and shit like that, it was that same exact whatever the fuck it was that was in that dream, that clown looking little man. You know what I'm saying? Like a little midget, short dude on a bike or something like that. It kind of sort of reminded you of that thing on that movie Saw. You know what I'm saying? That character that used to have a mask on. But it wasn't direct, it wasn't literally that. It just looked similar to that. That dude had that picture in his drawing book, yo, in November 2024. You feel me? They put me out the tiny home shelter, unit number 35, put me in tiny home shelter, unit number 15. And like I said, that schizophrenic dude, it was some dude with dreads. And he had a lazy eye. I think he was blind in one eye or just cockeyed in one eye. You know what I'm saying? It was he was about the same height as me, a little bit skinnier than me, like dark. He wasn't dark skinned, but he was like a dark caramel skin or something like that. And he had like mini dreads. And he was schizophrenic. He actually talked to himself. And I was like, dog, why the fuck y'all put me in here with a dude that's schizophrenic? And why are y'all moving me on the other side of the tiny home unit shelter? This dude got mental problems. This side over here that y'all moving me on is people who got a higher risk of having a mental problem. I know that because I see the people that come from this side of the shelter when I be getting food in the morning. All the people on that side be talking to themselves. And y'all do wellness checks over there like 10 times a day. Why would y'all move me over there? I was recording the video on tiny home unit number 35 one day, and I just said, I feel like it's somebody lying on me. It's some scandalous shit going on. I can't really pinpoint everything that's going on. Man, look. One dude had that eye on his shirt one day. I'm walking through the library. He had like the Illuminati like eye thing on his shirt or whatever. And he was like, on blood, you follow me, I'm knocking you the fuck out. I bust out laughing because I thought he was talking to the police because it was a cop walking behind him at the LA library. He was like, yeah, nigga, I ain't stutter. I'm talking to you, nigga. Why the fuck you still walking away? I'm talking to you. And then I did like this. He was like, what you looking back for? I'm like, bro, you talking to me? He was like, if the shoe fits. He was with some lady with pink hair. He like, on blood, if the shoe fits. I'm like, bro, you talking to me? Are you talking to me? If the shoe fits. Kept walking. Just kept walking. I recorded a video, like I still feel like it's some weird shit going on. I'm recording this video right now. I was not on Snapchat. I was not on YouTube. I was not on Instagram. I was not on Twitter. I was just recording the video. You know what I'm saying? And the dude, the Brian dude was in there when I was recording the video. And I was like, yo, I just been chilling. I don't know what's going on. He was like, yeah, but that's your problem. You just been chilling. You ain't even been doing nothing. I'm a grown ass man. This man don't know me at all. He telling me I've been chilling, like basically doing nothing. Don't know what I be doing. Don't know what I've been going through. And on top of that, I'm looking at him like, you look like you related to the people at the testimony shelter, bro. So immediately in my mind, I'm like, I don't trust this nigga because there's something else going on and nobody is telling me directly. I would have rather somebody came and said, man, look, this is what's really going on. I said that to my family a long time ago. If you tell me what's really going on, I understand that some people that are part of certain secret organizations and they can't open up and talk about everything. But if you tell me what's really, really, really going on, yo, cool. That's what fucked me up so much about when I was in St. George, South Carolina, yo. I never wanted to record a video putting up lottery tickets in the middle of Pizza Hut when I was downtown Los Angeles. I wanted to keep that to myself. I wanted to keep the business that I was working on to myself. But I felt like God was just telling me to do things a certain way. I ain't want nobody to know anything. Even when I used to talk to my family back in the day, my sister knew about it. My brother knew about it. My mom knew about it. My mom's ex-husband, Esau, knew about it type shit. The people that I was actually living with around all day, every day knew about it. But as far as that nigga Show or Tease that I went to high school with or Shamar and all of that, they didn't know. I know that they was going through my stuff. But it shocked me when I realized that something that happened behind my back and somebody had basically did some type of a business marketing idea behind my back with that. I was surprised by that. So The whole point I'm making is I got into it with that dude in Tiny Home Show, the unit number 35, that dude Brian Cooper, yo, and then they moved me out. They moved me out. You know what I'm saying? They moved me out. And the first thing came to my mind when that dude was asking me, hey, where your mom at? Where your mom at? The first thing came to my mind was that dream that I had when I was talking to a dog that was outside of the car, outside of the driver door. My mom got out of the car and walked around the car. She had blue hair. She lost a whole lot of weight. Then I saw a whole bunch of people skateboarding and rollerblading down this green grass. That was weird to me, yo. That was weird to me. At first, I overlooked it because it was this one lady named Dawn that had like a little mini dog named Natalie. I still remember the name of the dog. Her dog name was Natalie. She was playing around with the dog. And then the dog started playing with the dude Brian one day. He was like, that's right, you know a dog when you see one. And when he said it, I looked over. Like, the first thing came back to my mind was that dream that I had. But fast forward past that, all that, I overlooked all of that. But then when me and that dude got into it on that one particular day, I wasn't on Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, none of that. I was just recording the video in my phone. It was in my Google Photos. And he basically started talking in the middle of my video while I was recording. I'm like, bro, I'm recording right now. And then I think he jumped on Snapchat and started recording me, talking shit or whatever. And I was like, whatever, man. He started asking me a whole bunch of questions that you already knew. You know when somebody asks you disrespectful questions at that point, they mocking you. And he like, you be going around trainings, do you be doing this, do you be doing that? I'm like, whatever, bro. Then they put me out and put me in Tiny Home Unit number 15. Yo, they put me in there with a schizophrenic dude. That schizophrenic dude had a notepad, a notebook. And the drawing in that notebook, it was some guy, it was some little midget clown looking man that was on a big wheel bike. You know what I'm saying? And it was like a metal type of a frame bike. You know what I'm saying? It was a small little mini bike. It was like a little midget thing. I saw that in that dream. Like I said, I was running through the hallway with this dude named Jay and Jovan that I worked with at the Pepsi warehouse in Fort Myers, Florida, yo, between May 2016 and June 2018, because June 2018 was when I stopped working there. And I jumped off these stairs, and I saw, I was running through this hallway. I bust a right turn. I looked over to the left. I saw some stairs. It was like, no, it's a distraction. Jay and Jovan was like, it's a distraction. It's a distraction. Keep running. You know what I'm saying? And when I first started off in the dream, it's like I was crawling. And then when I started running, I almost ran past them. I almost ran past Jay and Jovan, because at first I was like, no, I'm moving way faster while I'm crawling. I think I'm moving faster. Then I stood up. And when I stood up, it was like I started running way faster, yo, to the point where I almost passed them up. I looked over to my left, and it was like, no, it's a distraction. It's a distraction. And then I ran out, and then I jumped down these stairs. It was like just a few stairs. It wasn't that high at all. It was just a few stairs. And then it was this big room, and I saw this little man on a little bike riding in circles on it it looked like it was a big wheel. It was a 3-wheel bike. You know what I'm saying? Riding around in circles. And then I ran over to the door, and it was like, you can go in or you could go out. You know what I'm saying? And then they ran down the stairs and ran out the door. And I remember jumping down the whole flight of stairs trying to run out the door. And and the door was closing in front of me. And still to this day, now that I reflect back, I'm wondering now, why did they close the door in front of me? And why was I even running? Because there wasn't nothing running behind me. It wasn't anything chasing me. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be thinking about that dream in deep thought. But what made me think about that dream was I never talked about that dream ever to anybody. I never talked about that dream up until the month of January 2026. The month of January in the year of 2026. I never told anybody that dream. So when I was in Tiny Home Unit number 15, and when they put me out in like late October or early November of 2024, when that schizophrenic dude was in there, and I saw that little character in his book, I said, what the fuck, yo? I had that dream about Jay and Jovan running in that hallway in 2023, in like October and November 2023. Man, look, I don't even care about what nigga is trying to say that I'm running around falsifying up statements. I don't care about that, because I'm still trying to get into what God is telling me, what God is telling me to do and stuff like that. I'm still trying to figure out what God is telling me. All of this is confusing. Everybody think this shit is a smooth walk. All this is confusing. You feel me? So I don't care about what some nigga is saying about me to try to throw more confusion into my life, or whoever is basically trying to make it look like I don't know who it is that's trying to make it look like I'm copying off of them. I'll just be talking about dreams that I've had. I don't know if it's a dream. I don't know if it's a prophecy. I don't know if it's something that already happened. I don't know if it's something that's go happen. I just be begging God to keep everybody safe, healthy, and alive, delivered from evil. And I be trying to figure out what's going on around me. But when I realized people was trying to frame me and lie on me and sabotage me, I lost trust in everything. And what scares me the most is it's a lot of people, dog, that don't fucking like me, yo. It's a lot of people that are in law enforcement. They don't like me. They don't like me, yo. It's a lot of people that's a part of certain brotherhoods. They do not like me. You think they do, they don't. Nobody's going to come up to me and say, hey, I don't like you, nigga. So that's what scares me, yo. I said a whole bunch of foul stuff about my family back in the day. I can't keep stressing this enough. I said, my apologies, God bless to everybody. I'm sorry to all y'all for all the stuff that I said. A lot of stuff that I said wasn't true. I thought that was going to bring peaceful, just auras around everybody else around me. It didn't go that way, though. I don't know what kind of lies got told about me in the past. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of, like, trying to chase vindication, but at this point, I don't even care no more about the he say, she say lies. Now I'm more so concerned about, okay, what's going on with my peoples, my family type shit. I don't even care about the lies no more. So I think a lot of people was lying on me saying he know what's going on. Yes, I know that something not right, but I don't know what's all going on, yo. I'm not even gonna lie, yo, like I said, by like March and April of 2025, I had a dream, dog, in June 2025 that it was some little girl saying he slammed me on the floor. And on my birthday, him right there, he slammed me on the floor. I heard some little girl saying that. He slammed me on the floor. So somebody got slammed on the floor on their birthday. Did my sister get reeled out and people attack my sister? And then basically was relying on my gullibleness to basically say, okay, he's stupid, he gullible, he green, he gonna think that his sister right there that been cloned and we could just attack the original twin sister here somewhere else. All of this, yo, all of this be on my mind heavily. It be, I'm telling you. And then what makes it so messed up is people will try to take your life if you become a revolutionary. If you somebody that would say things and do things that would change the world and to change the whole trajectory of the way things is going on in the world, they'll take your life first because not only are you intervening with somebody's money, you're intervening with the way the world goes and shit. So in my case, it's like, yo, that scares me. That scared me. Like, I don't want to end up dead. You know, like, I'm sure a whole lot of people back in the day that lost their life for talking about something that was the truth didn't want to end up losing their life. You feel me? So when I talk about this kind of stuff, people look at it like, man, you doing too much. You change it too much, and we trying to keep a certain amount of people away from this because if everybody found out what's really going on, they could probably make things worse for everybody. And I don't know what's all going on, yo. God bless everybody. But as of lately, now my biggest concern be making sure that, man, I just hope everybody be delivered from evil. But at the same time, my biggest priority is, man, look, I'm not going to go down a list of what all my priorities is. I'm still working on the same business. Everybody know that. And I'm not going to be public no more like I once was about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to be open up and wide out open about everything that I'm working on and stuff like that. But I realized that a lot of people was trying to lie on me. A lot of people still trying to lie on me. Whole lot of foul shit going on. You know how many people's being paid to lie? You know how many people's being paid to say foul shit, to do foul shit? You have any idea how many people is lying and then being paid to do that? It's way more than people know of, yo. On a positive note, God bless to everybody. I was expecting to be talking for 30 minutes and it turned into this. God bless to everybody. One love to everybody. Make sure I cover everything. And yo, again, if I got family members somewhere else, I just be praying that don't nothing bad happen to them, yo. That's like the main thing I've been talking about as of lately. That's the only thing that I've been talking about. I'm not gonna leak everything that I'm talking about with what I'm working on. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna never do that again. Unless God tell me to. But I do wish that somebody could have talked to me a long time ago, say, hey, AJ, this is what's really going on. Hey, leave that cell phone, put all that shit down. This was really going on. Nobody even did that. Sometimes I be thinking that people be so scared to talk about shit Maybe a cell phone don't matter. Maybe if people even tell me directly what's going on, you know what I'm saying? Somebody will still find out. I be thinking that some people got their mind, like, I be thinking that it's like that movie, The Kingsman. Remember how they was like talking to them holograms on that movie, The Kingsman? Sometimes I think that people turn their life over to certain deities, and even if they talk to me, those certain spirits will tell on them. You know what I'm saying? So I be thinking that like maybe people is off into some type of shit that they can't tell me about. Of course, God is not of people like talking to deities and worshiping deities. God is against that. So most likely it'll be people entertaining demons. And maybe people don't want to tell me that they entertaining certain demons because somebody else will probably try to take their life that also worship them same demons or worship that same devil or something like that. That could be ongoing, yo. That could be happening. So I just be praying that everybody be delivered from evil, yo. I just wanted to say this, yo, because man, I'm not about to just like act like all this stuff ain't happening and then let somebody keep on trying to, on top of all of this messed up stuff that been going on, I still feel like people try to make a fool of me. Man, this AJ, yo, it's shit. 9:51 p.m. I already said what time it was earlier. It's 9:51 p.m. It's January 26, 2026, yo. Hold on. No, it's January 25th. Shit. No, it's January 26th. It's January 26, 2026. And I don't know how it go with people getting cloned. Like I don't know how that goes. That's why a lot of people beliefs be messed up because they look at it like, well, if people can get cloned, they probably don't believe that God exists and stuff like that. But if somebody could take your DNA and actually copy that, a lot of people be like, okay, well, if God put a spirit in you, then what does the spirit go in that other person? That confuse a lot of people, and a lot of people don't be knowing what to believe, what not to believe, and stuff like that. God exists, yo. I talk about certain things that I went through in the past that made me more of a believer of God, yo. I found out that I had a close connection to God when I was 30 years old. It ain't like I just turned 30 and that happened. I stopped having sex December 10th, 2018, yo. And then by the time I turned 30, I found out that I was part of the 144,000 Israelites. You feel me? And then by the time I turned 31, you know what I'm saying? I broke that celibate strike and I got head from this one lady in Walterboro, South Carolina. That was June 2021. Then I got head from this other lady in Holly Hill, South Carolina. That was June or July 2021. Then by November 2021, I actually penetrated this lady, had sex with her November 2021. You know what I'm saying? Then I left her alone. That was actually in St. George, South Carolina. And then by February 2022, I penetrated this other lady, had sex with her, and then I stopped having sex after that, yo. That was the last time I had sex was February 2022. And I had sex with that lady in Reedsville, South Carolina in February 2022. But when I turned 30, you know what I'm saying, God revealed to me that I was part of 144,000 Israelites. That just took a lot of praying and dedication and stuff like that. To be honest, I feel like it was revealed to me at other times with certain things that I saw, but I feel like it was more clear when I was 30, when I turned 30. So I was trying to get baptized before I left St. George. I was trying to get baptized at the Kingdom Hall, but I felt like even some of the people in the Kingdom Hall was telling me to just leave. Remember that part of that movie, Get Out, when the dude Lakeith was basically talking about the black experience. He was like, hey man, maybe you could take this one, man. How do you feel about the experience? And he's like, oh, well, I feel like the experience is this and that and this and that. And he was talking our proper. I was talking to this one dude at the Kingdom Hall in Walterboro, yo, in South Carolina, and he was talking like that when I was just talking to him about being like close to God and being on a walk with God and stuff like that. And I feel like that was his way of telling me, hey man, you should probably leave. You should probably like get up out of St. George type shit. And I wasn't even planning on leaving and staying gone, but man, they told me that court case was canceled, dog. That I was supposed to go to in July 2024. They told me it was canceled. And then I called out to the courthouse and they told me that it wasn't canceled. And then they told me that they got reissued in July 2024 to go to on September 11, 2024. And nobody even told me that I had a court date on September 11, 2024. My mom didn't tell me. My pops didn't tell me. Nobody in St. George, South Carolina told me. Not only that, but the people at the testimonial show that kicked me out of that testimonial show on September 11, 2024. And they didn't even tell the lady Karen, that was my social worker that worked in the office area at the testimonial show, that they didn't even tell her that they kicked me out. They just put me out. They just said, nigga, go. Once I started talking about that gay dude, Robert, who'd be recording people at nighttime with his cell phone. So it made me real upset when I think about the goals and the stuff that I had like that, because I feel like I just left. I feel like that was, I saw a lot of signs that was possibly saying leave St. George, South Carolina. But with all the goals and all the stuff that I was working on in St. George, all that stuff that I was working on, right? My biggest goal was still to just help out my family. That was it. In due time. And I'm not going to release all goals of mine that I got. I used to just say, hey, we're going to be good one day, cuz we're going to be good one day, bro. We're going to be good one day, sis. My mom, my pops, we're going to be good one day. I used to just talk like that. But maybe there was a part of something that I didn't know about, and there was in some type of a bondage that I didn't know about, and they was probably being held against their own will or against their own voice. Maybe they wanted to tell me what's going on, but just was hoping that I would be able to catch on and comprehend what was really happening around them, yo. But I never thought that it would get this crazy. You feel me? I don't know what to believe no more, though. I don't trust nobody, though. I will say that much. And when it comes to all these, like, female celebrities that I be looking at on Instagram and I be liking a bunch of pictures, I got like, I ain't jacked off in 2 years, yo. Like, I ain't fucked in 4 years. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got some head from anyone, and you know what I'm saying? I ain't got some head in 4 years. You feel me? So I ain't smoked a drink in 3 years. So there used to be a time when all I did was use sex to relieve stress. But even when I wasn't stressing out, I would have sex with one of these ladies around, you know what I'm saying? Because I used to that just used to be what I did when I was bored or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Even when I wasn't bored, I just love pussy. But when I actually started to discipline myself more, it's like I be all over the place. Like, that's all I be thinking about, yo. And then when I be stressing and stuff like that, I still be reverting back to them same exact ways, but I can't do it now. So now I just be liking a bunch of pictures on IG and stuff like that. But if anybody think that they talking to me, they not talking to me, yo. If anybody thinking that they flirting with me, if they think they, put it like this, if you think that you actually held a whole conversation with me back and forth, that did not happen. But I have held conversations, like this one lady that I talked to at the Publix a few months ago. I got her Instagram, but that never went nowhere. She never say shit. I ain't never say shit. I mean, I said something to her, but she never responded back. When I first got back to when I first got here to Florida, I reached out to this one girl that stayed in Fort Myers and just asked her, like, hey, you been all right, whatever, whatever. Well, she sent me a friend request on Facebook, and I just asked her if she been all right, and she told me, yeah, whatever, whatever. And I never had sex with her neither. I just asked her how she been and stuff. I ain't talked to her. I ain't actually seen her in person since April 2018. The whole point I'm making, though, is I was under the deep belief that people was hacking in my phone and talking to people. That's why I started off talking about this lady named Iranisha. Like, I got this lady number, but I didn't have sex with this lady. You know what I'm saying? I was looking at her like, damn, she nice. Like, she's sexy as fuck. You feel me? But I didn't have sex with her. You know what I'm saying? I kept looking at her body. I kept looking at her like, yeah, she nice, but I didn't do anything with that lady, yo. You feel me? I just sent her a text like, hey, let me know if they talking about something with housing or something like that. That's about it. So sometime when I be on IG, the reason why I'm talking about this is because sometime when I be on Instagram, I be feeling like I recorded recently that I saw like the profile glitching when I was on IG. So somebody be hacking in my shit a lot, yo. So if it's somebody hacking in my phone again, I just be letting that shit be known, like, man, something ain't right. Cause March 24th, March 23rd, 2025, my fucking Instagram got hacked. And somebody literally went inside my Instagram. It was messaging somebody, and then they had a bullshit distraction, a demo, a fake Instagram on my screen. So while I was on Instagram thinking that I was on the real Instagram, I wasn't on the real Instagram. Somebody went into the real Instagram on their phone, and I think it was the dude Mike that was my roommate in Tiny Home Unit number 31. I think that dude was a Mason. I think that dude was some old dude that was related to all the people at the testimonial children. I think that dude was not who he led himself off to be. He told me he didn't even have family in California. I didn't believe that. You know what I'm saying? I told him straight up. I told him directly, hey, man, I don't trust you. It's been a couple of times I woke up out of my sleep feeling weird. I think that man used somebody else's phone and recorded me at times after putting a substance next to me that made me go into a deep state of unconsciousness. And I think he framed me in some type of way. And he probably used some gay man phone to try to make it look like that it was some gay man in that tiny home unit. That was the reason. That was another reason why I recorded that sign-in binder at the tiny home shelter. Because every single day you got to sign your name in on this binder at the tiny home shelter. Every single month they replace the pages on there. You know what I'm saying? So it's 30 different signatures that you got to sign per day. or 31. And it's a picture of you. It's a cover picture of you. And then you got to flip the page, and then you got to sign your name in it. You feel me? And the reason why I had a recording of that dude in that binder, because I thought that man was trying to set me up. I thought he was trying to frame me. I'm not going to lie about that, yo. I really believe that. So with all this being happening, with all this is ongoing, man, I'm not just going to let somebody insult my intelligence. Somebody need to tell me what's really going on, yo. Especially when it comes to family members of mine getting attacked and getting cloned and all that other stuff. Like, that's serious shit to me. And if not, I'm going to just keep my distance, keep my distance from everybody. That's just how I feel about it. Because I don't trust nobody, yo. And I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'd rather not trust nobody and stay to myself. So yeah, like now that I'm not engaged in the sex, I still be liking a lot of these ladies' pictures on Instagram. I still be that's all I be like, damn, that's all my mind be going to. I be working on my shit, and then I just be looking at that, because like that used to be my way of relieving stress. So now it's like a gateway drug. I'm not engaged in the sex, but I still be looking at it, a lot of these ladies on Instagram, and there still be people hacking in my phone trying to make it look like, still to this day, there's people lying on me. My last day at the tiny home shelter, June 9th, 2025, it was transgenders purposely running up to me. You know how you walking across the street when you got the right of way? I saw some transgender running, and then they stopped in the middle of the street and started walking like right on the side of me. You know what I'm saying? I had the right of way to walk across the street. I'm walking across the street, and this person didn't slow down until they got on the side of me. They running across the street. You know what I'm saying? Oncoming traffic is coming in probably like the next 10 seconds. And this transgender got off, ran across the street, and they didn't run past me. Once they got on the side of me, they stopped running and then slowed down and then walked at the same pace that I was walking at. This was June 9th, 2025, yo. The night before I got an Uber and jumped on a flight and went to Michigan for my cousin Evie funeral. So they was telling transgenders and telling gay men to purposely walk around me. Why was they doing that? Somebody told them to do that. That wasn't the first time that happened, but it was so obvious on that particular time. That wasn't the first time that happened at all. It happened a few times. So imagine walking down the street and then some transgender or some gay man just coming like purposely like standing around you, and you be trying to figure out like what is going on? Like, why is this happening? Like, did somebody make up a lie or something? Are they trying to like provoke me? And I got a lot of videos on my phone that I never like uploaded and never released to other people. So there's been times I also stated I stated in one video before, it's been certain people that I prayed for, but I never tell them that I prayed for them. I was just talking about praying on one particular day, and I was just talking about the concept of praying and how I be praying, when I be praying and stuff like that. So I was thinking, is this person running by me because they trying to get me to pray for them, or are they just fucking with me? But when I came back to Michigan, June 10th, 2025, and I observed the way people acted around me from June 10th, 2025, all the way to October 1st, 2025, I was like, no, yo, it's some foul shit in the air. It's some foul shit going on. Ain't no way you go through this much fucked up ass shit and the police don't know. Of course they know. Of course they know. They're the first person to get approved or overlook something like that. Not the whole police. I'm not saying fuck the police, yo. You know what I'm saying? You get hurt right now, you go reach out to the police. I got love for everybody, including the police. You feel me? But my biggest thing was, look, man, I'm just trying to make sure I'm good and everybody else is good. That's it. And trying to overcome all the negative stuff, but it didn't go that way, yo. Some people just feel like they gonna do their own thing. I'm gonna get off this phone, yo. It's 10:05 p.m. Shit. January 26, 2026, you feel me? It's either 10:04 or 10:05. I'm trying to see what my phone say, but yeah, I think it's 10:05. But I'm going to know in due time everything, because God knows what's going on, and God not going to let stuff slide like people think it's going to like slide. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't realize that they're going to have to answer to God when all of this is said and done. Not me. On a positive note, God bless to everybody.